Hi health enthusiasts. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Ivy and I'm so glad that you're here. Hit that little red subscribe button if you like health and wellness videos and fitness videos and food videos and vegan videos or plant-based inspired videos, as well as herb videos and mommy videos. Today we're talking about how I prepared for labor, and a lot of you guys have asked this. I am 1 month postpartum today. I feel incredible. Yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into the video, and there's a few things that I did specifically. One, I ate an incredible amount of watermelon every single day. My goal going into labor was to feel as physically fit as I possibly could, and a lot of that had to do with hydration. I have an issue where my kidneys are not super great, and that's from some health issues from years past, and so making sure that I keep my body hydrated is really important. I get super dehydrated very, very easily, and so going into labor, staying hydrated was really, really important to me. I obviously had a baby in the middle of June, so it's been hot, so just making sure I was hydrated was really important. I was drinking 4 liters of water a day. I was drinking or eating probably half of a watermelon. I was also eating a lot of asparagus, which asparagus is a natural diuretic, but I was drinking the asparagus water as well to keep the bloating down and to make sure I was staying hydrated. So with that said, I was also drinking a lot of smoothies, a lot of carrot juice, a lot of coconut water, and just drinking 4 liters of water a day. Now, with that said, I also gave up all caffeine. So I was drinking about ½ cup of coffee pretty much my entire pregnancy, unless I didn't feel very good in the morning, and some days I just didn't even want it. But I wanted to make sure going into my labor that my adrenals were really, really good, which caffeine affects the adrenals, so does stress, and that I felt really, really good. And so getting rid of coffee was really important. So I wanted to make sure, 1, I was sleeping really well depending on when I went into labor, and 2, my adrenals were good, and 3, that my hydration was good. So that was really, really important to me. I knew post-labor that a lot of women have issues with their bowels and they have to take stool softeners and all of these things, and I did not want to do that. I did not want to just go through that. So I knew that getting coffee out of my system was going to be the best for me, the best for the baby afterwards when I was breastfeeding, as well as preparing for labor. So glad that I did that. That's probably the #1 thing that I'm just so glad that I did. So I did that about month 7. And what I did was I first replaced my coffee with green tea in the morning, and that really, really helped. And then I just slowly stopped drinking anything altogether. And that was about month 7. So I transitioned out at month 7, and then I just didn't really want it. With that said, I did not feel very good. At month 7, I had a couple weeks where I was just so dehydrated that I was retaining so much water that I didn't feel good. So giving it up was super easy for me. Yeah, so there's that. Now, I also walked every single day. So I made it a point. I have the Fitbit app on my phone. I know where my phone is. This is not sponsored. I just have it. I have the free one. And I started using that during my pregnancy. I never used it prior. I didn't really use any fitness apps prior to my pregnancy, and so when I was pregnant, I just really made it a point to use this app. And so here's today. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I made sure that I moved at least 10,000 steps a day. If it was too hot here in California, I went to the mall and I just walked laps. I would, if there was traffic and I was coming home from work or something, I would stop at a mall or stop at a little shopping center and just walk. Because it was really, really important for me to just move. When I was working at a healing center in the beginning of my pregnancy, I would make sure that I was getting up to go to the bathroom, and I would take the long way around the building to get to the bathroom to use the restroom, so I was making sure I was getting my steps in. That was huge. That was huge for my hips. It kept my health and wellness up for pregnancy. It also kept me just mentally good. I just felt good. Every time I came home from a walk, I just felt better emotionally and physically. I felt loose. I just felt really, really good. Now, to be fair, prior to pregnancy, I mean, I was running 5, 6, sometimes 7 miles a day, and I felt really, really good. So for me to move at least 10,000 steps a day was important to just keep my physical activity up. So whatever that looks like for you, I don't know. I was very active before and I enjoyed being that active. So for me, walking was really important. I would also lift. So for whatever reason during pregnancy, lifting weights made me feel really, really good. I didn't lift a ton before, maybe once or twice a week I did strength training, but during pregnancy I did at least for sure twice to 4 times a week. I would do lift, I would do body pump. Sometimes I would do like cardio in the mornings and then I would do body pump at night, and that felt really good. Thankfully, my schedule, I work from home most days. If I don't work from home, I'm on set, or I was on set during pregnancy. So I had a really good schedule to kind of adjust for that. But with that said, there was also days that were crazy that I was up at 4 a.m. trying to get to the gym and trying to run. If I couldn't run, I would walk. If I couldn't do high intensity, I would do something. So make sure that you're just doing something. And I think that that's so important mentally as well as physically, to just feel good and to enjoy your pregnancy and enjoy your body and celebrate it at this time. Something that I kept telling myself during pregnancy was that I'm just going to get more pregnant. And I know I said this in my last video. I just kept telling myself I'm going to be more pregnant tomorrow and the next day, and then after that I'm going to have a brand new newborn. So I've got to do it now. Like, today is the day. It's got to happen. Of course, if I didn't feel good, or the days, as I said, I was super dehydrated, I didn't go. So there's that as far as physical fitness. Next thing, I drank raspberry tea. So my husband was out of town on my 39th week of pregnancy. He was far. He was like really far, 2 flights away from California. So I didn't drink the raspberry tea until he got back. So actually 2 days before he was due to return, I started drinking my raspberry tea, and then I increased it. In the morning times, week 40, I would drink it and I would feel the contractions in my uterus. Like, I would start to feel it as soon as I drank it. So that was pretty cool, pretty neat to feel my body, I guess, in that way. So I was drinking that. As I got to my due date, I started to drink 2 and 3 cups a day. I also was doing the dates. Now, if you guys know me and you follow me for a long time, you know that I drink or I eat dates a lot. I put dates in all of my recipes. If you see my lactation recipe, I will link that below, the brownie recipe. It's full of dates. A lot of the recipes I do are full of dates. So I eat them a lot. They're really good for people with GI issues. So for me, I love them. They make me feel really, really good. They're really high in potassium. So also people with kidney issues, really, really important. They make me feel incredible. And so for me, adding those in even more was not a problem. It was super easy, already part of my lifestyle. So I was doing probably a ½ pound of dates a day. Now, if you have gestational diabetes, talk to your doctor. You know, I'm not recommending that to you. That's just what I did. I'd put it in smoothies. I was making recipes with them. I would eat them when we were in the car and running errands and that kind of thing. So dates were easy for me. If you guys follow me and you have GI issues, make sure that if you are having bloating and those types of things, that you're eating dates, fruit, before you're eating cooked food. So that's really important. If you're having GI issues, that is. The rest of you, it's probably fine. But if you're having that, make sure that you are eating them first. This is really important because it's going to help your GI tract move. A lot of women before labor, they start drinking those smooth move teas and those like restroom teas. Now, whatever, that's totally up to you, but remember that a lot of those greatly dehydrate the body. So doing something like dates to keep your bowels moving is really, really important, and it's going to help you with labor. So many women are worried about going to the bathroom on the table. I get it, I do. But really, when you're in that much pain and you are, my nose itches, and you are doing that, you're going through that, you don't care. Like, you just don't care. Did that happen to me? No, it didn't. The day I went into labor, I just like wasn't that hungry. I actually ate watermelon all morning, so that's obviously easy to digest. It's basically water. When I did go into labor and I was starting to seriously contract in the evening, I did use the restroom and it like was straight watermelon. So TMI there for sure, but it was like straight watermelon. So I'm actually thankful for that. I'm super thankful that I kept it light and easy to digest, and something that was also hydrating, because had that have happened and it was food that wasn't hydrating or didn't give my body things that can relax the muscles and help the muscles, I don't know if my labor would have been as good. So, if you're going into labor, I highly recommend lots of watermelon before labor. Also, you cannot have watermelon after, or at least depending on your baby. I can't. Unfortunately, I'm so bummed, and I'll do another video on this. I can't even believe that I did this, but yeah. So you can't have watermelon afterwards, so eat all your watermelon now and all your melons because it causes colic in the baby. Next video, I will talk about that. But yeah, that's what I did. Also, sexy time. My husband and I did have sex. It was awkward. It was weird. Total disclaimer, it was weird, okay? It was just weird. Yeah, it's just, you're super pregnant. There's so much going on. There's a lot of pressure down there. Like, yeah. But I will say that I'm super thankful for that in that time with my husband because, one, you know, you can't have sex for a long time afterwards. And two, it just, being that vulnerable and that amount of things changing and your body changing and your life changing, like, it's kind of cool to connect with your partner on that level. So yeah, super weird, but yeah, we did it. Also, I ran stairs. So I went to a school by me where I knew there was people, and it had an outdoor track. So I walked the track, ran the stairs, walked the track, ran the stairs. And I did that a couple times. My husband came with me, so you know, I was safe and stuff because it was really hot, and he just watched me and I just did the stairs. So you could do that. Did any of these things work to put me into labor? I have no idea. But I did go into labor on 41-1, which is the day that my midwife said the whole time. First time moms go 41-1, 41-1, 41 weeks and 1 day. That's the day I went into labor. So imagine that. They know what they're talking about. Anyways, yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope this helps you. Also, too, something that I did, I just want to say this really quick, is that I kept my carbs high. I know that there are a lot of women that, you know, are trying to keep their weight down, and I get that. But for me, I was eating a lot of rice and a lot of carrot juice and a lot of fruit. But I was keeping my fats low. You know, I didn't eat a lot of processed foods. Second you pick up processed foods, you're going to get a lot of oils, a lot of fat that, you know, you wouldn't normally eat in nature, and a lot of salt. And they're all together in one. So you have to remember that. You know, I have a lot of recipes on my blog. Feel free to check those out that are low fat and low salt. So whether you follow a high carb, low fat vegan diet, or you follow a high fat vegan diet, low carb, there's a lot of different ways to go about it. But remember that in nature, fat is not really available in abundance. And if it is, it's really hard to eat a lot of it. So I did a video on almonds. Like, when you see almonds in nature, they're in this like really hard casing, and it's hard to get them open. You would not be able to eat a ton of them, and they're wet. When you open them, it's a wet almond. It's like a soaked almond. So in nature, there's just not a lot of that, and I think people forget that. So it's really up to you. There's a lot of different ways to eat. There's definitely different times in my life where I've lost weight doing, you know, low carb and higher fat, but I didn't feel good. Didn't feel my best, and my health went down the drain. So for me, the high carb felt really good. I felt good. I had energy. My GI tract was amazing. So for me, in everyday life, that's what I like to do. That's how I like to eat. So there's a lot of recipes on my blog. And yeah, I hope this helps you guys. You guys, if you're about to have a baby, you're just like, it's so good. It is so good. It is so good. It's so amazing. So anyways, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you on my next video. That's it. It was